Have you ever seen such a great dog? He's been a nanny to 4 lions. His name is Benji. It turns out that a few days ago, the lion cub's mother was mercilessly killed by a hunter. He tried to rescue the lions, but due to his limited strength, he had the will but not the power. He watched as the lioness was taken away. He accidentally found the 4-legged cub in a rocky crevice. He was going to walk away, but one of the cubs crawled out with all his strength, as if to tell him not to leave us behind. The class had no choice but to take it back. But just then, the eagle in the sky had been waiting for a long time. The lion cub sat there, looking helplessly at the dog, with eyes full of expectation. With a heart of gold, he acted as a nurse. The class plucks wild fruit from the woods for the cubs to eat, but they are meat eaters by nature. Vegetarian food is not of interest to them. Then a little gray rabbit happened to pass by. Ben rushed to hunt it down, through the bush, over the grass. Finally, he was cornered in a cul-de-sac. Looking at the shivering rabbit, Benji hesitated again, so he went up and licked the rabbit and left. And on his way out, he hinted to him to stop running around, thinking of the 4 hungry little ones behind him. He went back to his search for food. While walking through a wooded area, Ben found the hunter's hut. There was even a roast chicken. Actually, it wasn't the chicken he was after. When the hunter returned to the cabin with the food, Ben jumped on the pile of wood. He grabbed the chicken by the neck and pulled it down hard. And when he got it, and he's off. Ben finally brings back food for the little ones, throwing the chicken to them, but they ate the wild fruit. At night, Benji lay by and watched over the little ones. Early the next morning, Benji found some stones and blocked the exit to stop them from wandering off again. Then he went back to the hunter's hut, ready to get another chicken back. When he didn't expect, the hunter caught him, tied him to a tree with a rope. Ben tried desperately to break free, but all to no avail. And just then, a vicious wolf was slowly approaching him. This leashed dog, circling around the fire, then lies down on the ground and pretends to sleep, waiting for the hungry wolf to come. He immediately got up and ran away. The grill collapses instantly, alerting the hunter. Faced with a shotgun, the hungry wolf can only run away, and that's when the hunter unties Benji's rope, ready to clean up. This is exactly the effect Benji wanted. Benji picks up the pheasant when the hunter isn't looking and runs off. On the way back, he spotted a lioness with a baby. Finally, he meets a breed. He turns to the lioness and asks for help, but the lioness thinks he's being provocative. He is chased away straight away. Although this exchange failed, but it gives him hope. Benji rushes back to fetch a lion cub, but just then, a helicopter appeared in the sky, scaring the lioness right out of the way. There was nothing to be done. Benji took the 4 youngsters back to find Mum. It was a long and arduous journey for them. They've been through a lot of trouble just to find the lioness sooner. But just then, an eagle came down from the sky and carried off a lion cub. Benji was furious, but there was nothing he could do. He just let the eagle take it away, with a heartfelt look in his eyes. For the safety of the other little ones, he took them on his way. Soon, Benji finally finds the lioness, talking to the lioness again, leading her to the lion cubs. Finally, the lioness is enraged by him. He chased her down the road. At this point, Benji accidentally steps out of the way, but he stops just in time. Behind him was a bottomless abyss. Benji's strength seems to be running out too, but for the sake of his 3 little ones, he made his way up. Benji knew in his heart of hearts, if he died like this, the 3 lion cubs would die too. In the end, Benji climbed up with a strong will. He didn't have time to be afraid. There were still 3 cubs waiting, and sure enough, when Benji arrived, there was the wolf behind the lion cubs. This dog fought a wolf to protect a lion cub. He fought with the wolf. Benji leaps to his feet, jumping on top of the hungry wolf, biting and biting. Finally, the wolf is angry. The hungry wolf chases after him frantically. Benji lures him to the spot where he has just lost his footing. Then he hides quietly. The hungry wolf doesn't know the terrain. He takes off into the air. The next second, with the hungry wolf out of the way, Benji returns to the lion cub. Benji starts to climb up the hill with the cub in his mouth. At this point, the mother is descending the hill. He found that the path was blocked by Benji. He looked at the terrain. He saw that his cubs could not get through. He had to turn around and head up the hill. This was one of Benji's plans. Only then could he meet the lioness at the top of the hill. But just then, because the lion cub was too small, they fell off before they could climb 2 steps. Benji had to pick up the cubs and take them up one by one. It was tiring, but he didn't have time to rest. Then he picked up a second one, and up he went again. By the time he has picked up the last lion cub, Benji has run out of energy. He's even at the end of his rope. Meanwhile, the lioness is already looking for another way out. Time was running out. Benji had to climb up as hard as he could, but he's not strong enough and falls down with the cubs. But he doesn't give up. He knows this is his last chance to meet the lioness. With a last-ditch effort, they finally made it to the top of the mountain. Benji was too tired to stand up. The lioness looked at the scene before her. and she understood. At last she realizes what Benji is trying to do. Slowly she walked towards the lion cubs. Slowly, she got down. The cubs nestle beside the lioness, as if they found a home. And Benji's mission is finally complete. The cubs have a strong anchor. It's time to leave. Although they've only been their mother for a few days, but there's still a look in their eyes. The lion cubs know that this is the last time they will see each other. Tears are in their eyes. At that moment the helicopter arrives again. It was Benji's owner who was looking for him. It turns out that because of an accident, Benji had been stranded on a deserted island. The owner had never given up looking for him, but for the safety of the lion cubs, Benji didn't respond when he saw his owner. Now it's time to go home. Animals and humans are the same. They have feelings too. They have intelligence too. Only animals will always be animals, and humans are often not human. Care for animals. Everyone has a responsibility.